I hear some people have been rating my 5-star books 1 stars and leaving atrocious reviews. So we're going to sit together, we're going to go through those 1-star reviews, and we're going to put the world to rights and tell them how they're wrong, or maybe have my opinion changed. We'll see. Hi guys, welcome to my channel if you're new, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. Thank you so much for returning, and if you're new, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today I'm going to be looking at the 1-star reviews of my 5-star books. This is a video I've seen Beltas do a few times, and so I love watching those videos, and I love seeing how not offended she gets, because I mean everyone's allowed an opinion, but just how deeply it cuts. So today we're going to look through 4 different of my 5-star books, and if this is something you like, then leave a comment down below and we can maybe have a look through a few more. So just jumping in quickly, there is swearing in this video and there is smut and smut exploitation mentioned in this video, so if you have little ones around, maybe don't watch this in front of them, or if that's not something you want to talk about, then I'll see you in the next video. But just thought I'd mention that before the video starts. I've been through, I found the comments, and let's get into it. So I'm going to put them on the screen here for you guys to see, but obviously I have them on my laptop. So first book we're going to look at is The Woman in Cabin 10. The Woman in Cabin 10 is a thriller by Ruth Ware, and I gave this book 5 stars. I was hooked. It was the most thrilled I felt in a while. I loved it. I loved it, loved it, loved it, and I could not put it down. So let me see what you guys have been saying for your 1-star reviews. Obviously, I've cropped out the name of anyone who said this. No hate or shame to anyone if these are your ratings or your reviews. I love to see the differing of opinions of people's favourite books and then like other people's 1-star reviews. So let's just get into the video. Review number 1 is, all I can say is that I wish a shark had appeared and swallowed her whole. I mean, fair, she was a bit annoying, but what can I say? Like, the main character was very frustrating. She was a bit annoying, but the actual book and the plot line is what kept it going. If it was all, like, if it was a character development book, like a few of the other books that I've been reading recently, then yeah, maybe. But it was a thriller, so I enjoyed it. Maybe you could label this as suspenseful, but also eye-rollingly over-dramatic and repetitive. I really struggle with these 1-star reviews because it's hard when you agree with them. Like, yeah, it was repetitive. Yeah, she did keep saying the same thing, but no one was listening to her. No one listened to her. No one took her seriously. And who was right in the end? No one. But I mean, it's not a thriller if it's not a thriller. And actually there's a sequel to this thriller coming out soon. So clearly this woman gets herself in far too many situations she shouldn't be in. But she was a little bit grating. She was very dramatic. But then again, so am I. And so me and her, we just vibed on a level that's just different. And so if you know, you know, I loved it. And the last 1-star review that I've got of The Woman in Cabin 10 is, this book was so bad I rooted for the heroine to die for the last 3/4 of the book. Annoying, whiny, unbearable, and predictable. Now, maybe this person's read a lot of thrillers, and I feel like if you have read a lot of thrillers along this premise, then it could be predictable. I haven't, and I read a lot of thrillers, but I've never read a thriller like this, and therefore for me it was amazing and I loved it and I loved the story headline. However, don't get me wrong, there's been some romances where I'm starting to feel the same way, because I read so many romances and all with like similar premises. I sometimes am very much like, oh, here we go again, like it's the same plot, it's the same premise. So I get it. And the main character, she was whiny and she was unbearable. Well, I didn't find her unbearable, but she was whiny and she was dramatic. So I get what they're saying, but I am rooting for this sequel. It doesn't really need a sequel, so I don't really understand why there's a sequel coming out so many years later. Am I going to complain? No, because I loved it. Shoot me. I mean, we've all got different favourite books, so it's fine. The next book is Powerless by Laura Watts. I am so excited that Fearless is coming out so soon. Honestly, that cliffhanger. If anyone knows how I can get my hands on an art copy of this book, please, please, please comment it down below. Like, I need this book now. I just need to know what happens, and the fact that people out there in the world know what happens and I don't, I can't live with it. You will see me in the works on release day, going to get that booked. And if the works doesn't get it for a release day, I will be in Waterstones and I will be paying Waterstones prices, which if you're not from the UK, they're expensive. Okay, so Kai, no one can say a bad word about my man because I love him. Peyton, I mean, she's annoying, but their tension together, incredible. Was it a repeat of the Hunger Games? Yeah. Did I love the Hunger Games? Yeah. I loved this book. Okay, 1-star review. I finished it. That's the nicest thing I can say about this book. I mean, I was always told if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. And this person abided by that. They really sat there and went, I finished it. And they didn't want to say anything bad. And so for that, big respect for this reviewer, because some people are out there slating these books, and I very much wanted just to find some like short, snappy comments for us to review together. And honestly, there was paragraphs, and I'm like, guys, this is not an essay, this is good read. Let's calm it down a bit. But fair enough. I mean, it's not for everyone. Next one, I read fan fictions written by 12-year-olds on Wattpad with better plot than this. You're lying to yourself. You are lying to yourself. I'm sorry. There are trials involved. There is high stakes. There is like death and blood and gore and just angst and tension and what I would give to be Peyton on a daily basis is unfathomable. And I mean, yeah, fan fictions when we were 12 was great. I was a Wattpad reader for One Direction fan fiction. No shame. Absolutely no shame. Okay, me and Niall have ended up together in many of those stories. However, this is just rude. This is just plain rude. Poor Lauren, she has worked hard on this book, and you're telling her that the fan fiction is better? You're lying. You are delusional. 1 star, I'm free. Worst experience of my fucking life. Then DNF the book, babe. DNF the book. I'm so hypocritical, because will I DNF a book? No. They clearly should though. They clearly should. Like, I've never sat there and gone, this is the worst experience of my life. And even if I had, I would never write that as a review. Like, I can still, I've read a book. The one book that's coming to mind, that to me was like the worst book I've ever read. I still wrote a review on it and I gave it, I think 2 stars, maybe 1 star. And I think I said in the review, like, I should have DNF. But it wasn't the worst experience of my life. I'm still reading the book and someone still put hard work into that. Like, let's really think about this. Okay, and the last one was DNFing at 77%, what the actual fuck. Now, I have seen a video recently, I think it was Belle, talking about unpopular opinions on books and bookish, like, opinions and hot takes. And she said that leaving a star rating for a book that you haven't finished is ridiculous because, or not ridiculous, but it shouldn't be like, it shouldn't happen. And I do feel like maybe Goodreads should have like a DNF function where you don't leave a star rating but actually you say, I've DNF'd this book or I did not finish. Because how do you know that after that 77% mark it didn't get better? How do you know? Like, I'm not saying it would have bumped it up to 5 stars. Like, if you're saying this is 1 star review at 77%, then absolutely fair enough, it probably will never get to a 5 stars. But how do you not know, like, that it couldn't get better, that it could at least bump it up to a 2 star? It just, I don't DNF books, right? However, I also never find books this irritating that I would leave like a 1 or 2 star reviews. And if I do, I give more reasons. Simply saying DNF at 77%, what the fuck? I'm like, you spent your time to get to 77%. Why? That is a waste of everybody's time. So, but I can relate, because like I said, I don't DNF books, so sue me. The next book, my latest 5 star from when I'm filming this, the 5 star book that I quite literally have behind me because I finished it this morning. Now, from that comment, you should know whenabouts this was filmed. I loved it. Incredible, deserves a hype. And do you know what, actually, when I went on there and I went to find the 1 star reviews, there wasn't actually that many. So let's see the 1 star reviews that we actually did find. Miss Henry, can you explain how Shorty is going to pay these loans off? I mean, I get it. She's left her medical career, and you Americans, your education system is screwed, okay? Because in the UK, we have like loans and stuff to help us, and like, we all know that we're realistically never going to pay them back because they will get written off before we can pay them back. And ours get written off, I think, around the age of us like reaching like 50. And it comes out of our wages and it's all wage related. And it, basically in the UK, we've got it sound. In America, you don't. And I mean, her job shift, incredible. You go, girl. Like, if you're happy doing that, fine. Like, Harriet, fine. But I do see their point, like, how is she going to pay back those student loans? Okay, comment number 2 was, I was so irritated with this book. I basically hate Reddit. So much eye rolling, so much miscommunication. These characters are so idiotic with their decisions and ideas of love/romance. The friend group is also stupid, and the way everyone treats each other is terrible. Ugh, definitely the worst rom-com I've read and the worst Emily Henry book so far. Let's unpick this. I mean, the whole book is based on miscommunication, so... And I don't normally like miscommunication. However, I feel like this miscommunication was done in the right way, to an extent. I mean, at some points I'm like, come on, guys. Just tell each other, but then also I very much empathise with the characters, and I felt how the characters would feel, and so therefore understood it. Like, understood kind of how horrible that must feel. So I get why they weren't talking to each other, and I get some of the miscommunication, but I also get this comment and this point. However, don't come for the friends, because the friends were amazing. Although there was a bit near the end where all their friends kind of like fell out. That was a bit annoying. I mean, come on, guys. Like, realistically, we've already got one problem on our hands. But I mean, I kind of see their points, but I'm also very much like, you guys are wrong. So, and then this was a whole book based on miscommunication and a lack of understanding that it's okay for friendships and relationships to end. The fact that no one felt like they could talk to each other about anything was insane. I get that, but have you ever like been in a situation where if you tell them something, it could crumble and like ruin the whole friendship group and like that whole vibe? And it's a horrible situation. Like, not necessarily to the extent that the book puts it in, but when I was in secondary school, me and my boyfriend at the time created like a friendship group with my best friend and his best friend, because they were also dating. And I do remember, like, when I was in the process of thinking about how I felt about him and navigating our situation, they did come to mind. I did think that, oh my gosh, how's the vibe of the group going to change? Because we were such a like 4 group that it was really hard to kind of picture it. However, yes, I mean, I still knew I wasn't happy in that situation, so I knew I still had to like end it and communicate that with my friends, and they were there. Obviously, they were there for both of us. However, I can understand that when you guys are living across country from each other, not necessarily talking to each other all the time, and then the reasons why they're saying that they need to get the whole group together to start with, I can understand why you would want to be there for your friends, and I can understand why you wouldn't necessarily want to rock the boat and everything like that. So I kind of get it. I kind of get why they didn't tell their friends, because it can be scary at times, and like you can feel embarrassed to admit to your friends that you failed, even though it's just a case of 2 people have kind of drifted apart. But I'm sorry if I've changed like position. I've just gone to get a drink. But the final book we're going to look at is another one of my 2025 Outstar reads, because that's right, I've had more than one, and it's February. Someone clearly needs to get harsher on their rating. But mine is None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. Now, this book was confusing, so I can maybe understand some of these 1-star reviews. And what I will say to you is there is spoilers in the next few reviews. Not massive spoilers, however, there is a few spoilers around kind of the ages of the main character and her partner, and it does talk about some exploitation. So if you don't want any spoilers for this book and this is a book that you want to go into, click off the video now. Thank you so much for watching, and come back next week. But if you've read the book and you know what I'm talking about, or if you're like me, and I often will watch books or videos with spoilers in because I forget everything anyway, then you're more than welcome to stay. So the first one was blaming a 15-year-old for the actions of is an empathetic no from me. Also some problematic behaviour by another man that just gets resolved in a, but he's a good guy, which is another red flag. I was rather enjoying this book until the above mentioned 2 things happened. Without them, this might have been a 4-star, but please, can we stop normalising bad behaviour from men? There's enough of it going on in real life. Must we have it in fiction as well? And I agree. Like, I find that looking through these 1-star reviews for this book, a lot of it kind of follows through the same like realm, and you'll see that through the next few clips. But yeah, I agree. Like the mention of that and like the age gap is incredible. Like, why that would ever be allowed is beyond me. Like, why you would think about writing about it is crazy. But I mean, I just don't understand how as a parent you're allowing your daughter to do that. And like, you meet the mum in the book and she's very kind of carefree about, not all she is upset about it, but she never did anything to stop it. So yeah, not too sure, but I kind of didn't take that into consideration when I rated the book, I guess. The next one is, I'm sorry, what was that? I read it in one sitting, so there's that, but also what the fuck was that? Yeah, I mean, I get it. I sat there and read it in one sitting and it is confusing, so I get it. It's addictive, and I listened to it and the audiobook was just incredible. So yeah, I mean, each their own. The next comment is redemption arc in this economy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, fair. And the last one is, if I could read a book, would be this one. I didn't think it was that bad, but obviously I didn't. It was 5 stars for me, but I would never have said it was that bad. And I mean, there are questionable topics in that book. And so, like I say, these clips might not even make it onto YouTube, because I don't know if I can say those words on YouTube, but we will see. Maybe I'll bleep them out. Maybe you guys can just like make it up. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this kind of like short and sweet little video. Obviously, you guys would have seen the reading vlog that went out on Friday for the Valentine's Day special, reading romance books. And yeah, February for me is a bit of an iffy month in terms of videos, purely because, as you guys are watching this, actually, this one comes up on the 16th of February and it was my birthday yesterday. So that's exciting. I will be 26 when you guys are watching this video. So crazy. For me, I kind of go home and I've had some assignments due, so I've used this month as kind of a lot of sit down videos and just getting things prepped for March, where I've got a few more reading vlogs kind of planned out. I wanted to kind of use this month as a prep month for that. So I hope you've enjoyed the video and let me know if you want to see this again, but I look forward to seeing you in the next video. I hope you guys have a lovely week, a day, evening, night, wherever you are. Have a nice time. Goodbye.